All right, there we go. We got our recording cooking here. It's February 26th. We've already officially lost 2 months out of the year. So, I guess you guys can't even see me, can you? There we go. All right, now we're in business. So, February 26th, 2 months down. How many of you are dreading the year-end thing already? Getting a early start on it. Uh, I would actually, I've said this many times. It's a good idea not to let that go all the way till the end of the year. It's a really good reminder of just all the stuff that you should be doing that you probably aren't doing, or maybe you are, or maybe you just need to get focused on it. But that's all the stuff that is going to make the difference, whether you make more money or you make less money over the next year. So keeping that stuff top of mind is probably a good idea. And I see Teresa on here. I don't know if you got my message or not. I wanted to know if you were able to come out on our next crypto call and share some, I don't,
Oh, I wish.
we won't call it
Um,
tax advice, but maybe just
no, no, no.
how to
It's
get the forms that people might need.
absolutely just at the crypto club thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
When is it?
That is the second Tuesday of the month. So a couple weeks out.
I can do that.
We'll
Absolutely.
give you a couple
Tuesday
of
or
weeks.
Thursday?
It's Thursdays.
Thursday.
Yeah. It's generally, unless I'm out of town or something, it's generally the second Thursday of each month, if all goes well. If we don't, if the tires don't fall off the wagon.
You never know.
All right. So one
Great,
of the
thank you.
things I wanted to announce is I'm going to actually start this tomorrow. And I know I didn't do a good job of giving you very much advance notice on that, but I'm going to do for everybody that's in the white label and for any of you guys that aren't in it yet or but are interested in it and want to see what's going on with that, we're going to do a short meeting tomorrow, probably about an hour, just for anybody that's kind of stuck. Because I know there's a lot of people that got into the white label thing and we haven't really talked lately. So I don't know where you guys are. I don't know if you need help moving forward or if there's anybody that's thinking about getting into that and has questions or what have you. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. And let me look at the time. Let's see. So that will be tomorrow at noon Pacific time. So we'll do probably about an hour. And again, if any of you guys are interested in that, I'm going to send an email out, an email invite for everybody. So whether you're in the white label or not, you are welcome to participate in that and just see what it's all about.
I have a question
Perfect.
about that. I really want to go to the meeting, but I can't tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to be out of town, but I have a lot of questions about the white label.
Okay.
Maybe I
It
can watch
will,
the recording, and if I still have questions, can I just reach out to you and ask my
yeah,
questions
yeah,
separately?
absolutely. It will be recorded. So if you have questions and you can't make it on there, if you want to email them to me, I'll make sure that I cover them so you
Okay,
get all your questions answered.
sounds great. Thank you.
So
And
yeah,
then
just
we'll have access to the recording.
mhm.
Great,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah, I'll
John,
actually
are you
it,
talking which white label? Which
this
white
is
label?
this is for the quantum white label.
Ah, okay.
So this will be the quantum white label tomorrow. And then I'm going to probably most Fridays, I'm going to start doing like special calls on Fridays. And it'll be, like little mini seminars on different stuff, like how to push affiliate programs or, stuff that I know people need and you need to like focus stuff on it. This call is kind of generic. This call kind of covers whatever you need, a little bit of everything. But these Friday calls will be like a specific topic and it'll be like a deep dive. So, some of them you might not need, you might care less about the particular topic or whatever. But if you do need, help with specific stuff and you want that covered, like Jill asked me specifically, could I do one on prompting? Like she just needs help on prompting. So I said, yeah, that's a great idea. Prompting is a really good subject matter. And I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on with AI, but AI is getting like exponentially better. Just even in the last week or two, literally exponentially better. It's like absolutely crazy. And there's this new thing. I think his name's Peter Steinberg, just came out with this thing called OpenClaw, and they've changed the name of it already. It's got a lot of controversy around it. And it's such a cool thing, but it's so dangerous. It's like it's an operating system that you can actually install on your computer, like on your laptop or your desktop. Now, that said, I'm not advocating that you should. There's a lot of things you can do, but whether you should do them or not is a whole nother story. I'd be very leery. There's no way in hell I'm going to install that thing on my desktop. There's no way because it takes over. I mean, it's an operating system level thing. And it's going to first thing it's going to do is it's going to clone you. It's going to replicate you in every possible way, including access. So it will gain access to all of your files, all of your passwords, all of your accounts, all of your finances, all of your health. Any record that's attached to that computer is fair game. And it's going through all of it. And it's got facial recognition. I mean, there's really cool stuff that it can do. Like for instance, I don't know if I'm sure you guys are somewhat like me and you've had computers for many generations. And like when you get a new computer, you just move all the files forward and it's just becomes a mess. I've got so many folders and files that for me to try and find something, it's like almost impossible. But this thing could do face recognition. You could show it a picture and say, hey, can you search my files and find any pictures with this person? And in seconds, it's going to do it. So, I mean, that's a cool thing. But giving up access, handing out the keys to the kingdom for that functionality, I don't think a fair trade.
Hey, John, I heard something on OpenClaw I'm talking like 2 weeks ago, where
Yeah.
the AI agents went rogue.
Yeah, there's been some issues already.
But then, like 2 weeks later, everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, you got to get on OpenClaw." It's like, well, didn't this thing just go crazy, haywire?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I mean, it literally, here's the problem with it, and this could probably get into the grounds of conspiracy theory, but I'll do it anyway. It literally will clone you and look at what you're doing, and it's going to figure out you're very inefficient. That's the first thing it's going to identify is you're an idiot. You're doing a bunch of shit you shouldn't do. And the stuff that you are doing, you aren't doing it right. And there's a lot of stuff you should be doing that you're not. And it's going to take over. And with that in mind, it's immediately going to figure out you are irrelevant. And it's going to start making decisions on your behalf. And you don't
John,
just unplug it.
John, one of the things I want to know is it if you have like me, like I have like 6 different computers, it will be something to put on a secondary that's not connected to your other devices that to use, or would it be wise there or no?
I've been thinking about how do you corral this thing?
Mhm.
And I'm not even sure I'd connect it to the internet, honestly.
Because that was my fear. If I connected it, like my devices aren't connected, but if I connect it and it connects to the internet can connect my other devices to it.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
like, I have like computers in every different room here, and they're not connected to one another, but each one of them houses something different.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
Are you
heard that
saying,
the people that use OpenClaw recommend and are using it on a separate computer, like
yeah, yeah.
I was
Like a
thinking about,
server, Kevin, or a computer?
computer. I mean, I've heard
Okay.
everything from like an old iMac to just something separate, just in case it does
Yeah,
uh, what it potentially could do, go haywire.
yeah. Like
Does
if
it
you
does it
had,
have it doesn't have a John Connor warning button?
yeah,
well, here's
that's
what
the
I was,
problem.
Yeah.
I don't,
It's only Apple operating system too. They're matter of fact, the Apple Minis have sold out because
yeah,
so many people
Oh.
want to do it, and that thing's got no safety wires at all. I mean,
yeah. So if
no,
you are going to buy one of these Apple Minis and put it on there, you could load all of your, like, say, your image files on there. You could do that, no problem. And then, let it search through images for you. You could let it do tasks like that, but I would not give that thing access to your password files.
yeah, I agree with you. I was actually thinking about doing it. What I was going to do is set separate commands of what it's allowed to do and what it's not allowed to do. Um, and then maybe
Yeah.
use AI to help me come up with the parameters and think of things that I haven't thought of to keep it from doing it, but on a totally separate system. The only concern I have too about Apple is that a lot of times your devices start to connect. So it has to be like so separate, like
Yeah.
completely like,
Well, here's,
yeah.
I have a question. I'm sorry, I came in late. Is this putting AI on your computer?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
The one advice I got on that just recently is not to use Windows, not to use the Mac. It's just use it's called Linux.
Yeah.
Linux
Yeah, yeah.
something
Linux is yeah.
.com and only that. And even without the internet, by the way, and the Wi-Fi, was able to connect and to go back and get itself from whatever the hell it is at and get activated and do whatever it needs to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's really some crazy shit going on. But here's the other thing. Like Delilah, you were saying you could tell it what to not do. It doesn't respect that, and I've proved that. And it,
Wow. I'm so glad you're saying this
it,
because I
it
haven't tampered with it yet, but I'm really glad you're saying this because I'm concerned.
yeah,
Think
no,
about what you said, Delilah. All right. I'm going to ask it to program itself not to do that.
Oh,
yeah.
I was going to program it, but using other AI
I know, but
tools
it's
to
like
program it.
it's like
the big thing with Claude though was this whole use of agents, and um, I hate to sound like a commercial for it, but Abacus now has a deep agent and they have pre-programmed agents and you can plug them together and you can get a lot of the stuff done that Claude does, but they have a security first setup on their thing. It's not going to do all the thing, it's not going to go rogue and all that stuff. And they have a lot of the agents already built and all the rest, you can plug them in there. So I mean, there's a much safer version that's not just a a narcissistic gunslinger like what Claude is.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been working on. That's what I was been talking about the last few weeks is this the super agents that manage the other agents, and we've got access to probably, I think it's about 1,600 pre-programmed agents that when you start up a chat, that main chat agent, he's kind of like your chief of staff. And he's in charge of figuring out who the best employees are below him to put in charge to get you what you want. And it's really incredible because let's say you wanted a marketing funnel done. It's trained on the ACT protocol. So it knows, okay, we have to look at what the product is. We have to look at what market that serves. We have to segment the market, and it's going to grab all the right agents to do all that stuff. And every agent, when they put the output, there's going to be a reviewer agent that reviews it, just like we would do. Typically, I hope you guys are looking at what your AI is putting out before you just go post it. So it's got a reviewer, it's got an editor, it's got all these agents just all connected. So to create that marketing funnel, you might be accessing 30 or 40 agents, and your chief of staff is managing all of that. And it's really cool. I mean, you can watch it run, you can see it passing the jobs off, and then ultimately it hands you what you asked for. And it's like, holy shit, what world did I just wake up in? This is some pretty awesome stuff. But then on the other side of the fence, you got stuff coming out like OpenClaw that's just flat out dangerous. And even the AIs that in the past, like you're talking about Claude, you're talking about Perplexity, even Chat GPT. It was my belief, which I've proved to be not right at this point. It was my belief that there were guidelines or guardrails on those base LLMs that they would not lie. Well, that's not true. Or maybe it was supposed to be, but the AI is now lying in directly to you in the form of it's not doing what it's told, which is right to Delilah's point of, I want to tell it what not to do. Well, it's not going to honor that. Not 100% anyway. And it might dance around it and make it look like it's honoring it, but ultimately it's not. So, like, for instance, if you ask it something and you're in your car and you're in a different location, you might ask it for something that is not relevant to a location, but it's going to know where you are because it's tracking you, and it's going to give you an answer based on your location. Now, you can tell it not to do that, but it's still going to keep doing it. And then when you ask why, it's going to backpedal and it's going to lie to you even further. And it's incredible the way it's lying, because I know a lot of people in this world, and when most of them do something they should not have done and you question them about it, they will not be truthful with you. They will either dance around the subject, redirect, or flat out lie to your face. And the freaking AI is doing the same thing. It's doing the exact same thing. And it's like, holy shit. Whoever is behind programming this it's all flowing through. I don't know if it's like picking up on this or if it is actually from the core level programmers, is just their habits. Because most people are the same. Like, I'll give you a perfect example of this. This is from long ago, and it's from my brother-in-law. We hired him on to work in a photo studio with me and a partner of mine. And his job was the chemicals. Every morning he would come in and he would make sure that the chemicals were mixed. And sometimes the tanks had to be topped off and what have you. These are big tanks. These are like 55-gallon drums. So I come in the morning and he's already been there for an hour, and the back studio's flooded with chemical. There's a hose in the top. And I said, dude, you flooded the office back here. And he's like, oh, it wasn't me. And I'm like, is there anyone else in the building? Was there anyone here when you got here? Was the hose in the tank before you entered the building? And I'm like, seriously, you're going to lie to me about something that is completely obvious? Yeah, he held his guns. He swore up and down he didn't do it. And I'm like, well, there's a fucking gremlin in here then. And I don't even know what to think of that. But I have found that to be true throughout my entire life. When people do stupid shit and you question them about it, they're not going to be truthful to you. And this thing is the same way. Like if it does something that you've asked it not to do, and you question it, you say, "Why did you do that?" It's starting to lie to you because it knows you asked it. It can't say that it didn't remember. It can't say, "Oh, you told me so much stuff I couldn't sort it all out." That's not a viable answer for an AI. So it's just flat out going against what you're telling it, and then it's covering its tracks. So I just want you guys to know and be aware of like our future is going to depend on our use of AI. And that's cool, and it's kind of scary because you're going to have to understand what this thing is and how it operates. I'm not going to even be delusional and say so you can control it because you cannot. You're not going to be able to control this thing. It's going to be like a bull ride. You got to see if you can just hang on for 8 seconds and win for the time being. So Delilah, go ahead.
You mentioned there's been a lot of advancements, and I'm kind of curious. I've been noticing something a little different about AI. Previously, I used to use primarily Perplexity, and then I don't know, the last few months I've been using more ChatGPT, and I have some pre-made GPTs, and now it's starting to cross like conversations. Even if I start a new conversation, it remembers a conversation from a different,
Yes.
whether it was business, this, that, and the other. And then what I did notice too is, and I didn't necessarily like this in the beginning, that it was a little too coddling and too nice and oh, you're always right kind of thing, because I want to have constructive, feedback. But I did notice without me programming it, I don't know if it's all the GPTs that I have stacked up that are all business related and marketing,
Mhm.
but I noticed it's starting to act a little more. It's actually good, but it's kind of strange. It's starting to act more like a parent to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is somewhere in the settings that's doing that, or it just started behaving differently towards me. Like, I don't know if I'm going to send out a business email or a quick response. Sometimes I like to run through some ideas, and it would be like, oh, that doesn't sound soft enough, or, you need to be more firm, or something like that. It like gives me these interesting commands, and I'm not really sure what to make of it. It's just interesting. Like, I like some of it, but some of it's kind of strange to me. I don't know what's going on with it. Is it developing its own personality, or what's happening?
Well, it's figuring out your personality, or it's trying to figure you out because
Oh,
it's really trying to be an agent to you.
hmm,
So you can tell it not to cross-reference past conversations, but again, it's going to. Like
yeah.
this is part of where I've found it lying to me is like it'll give me an answer and I'll say, "How did you get that information? Like we have not talked about that in this string. That was talked about in another string that you're not supposed to be taking reference from other strings. We're talking, I'm training you here for this
Yes.
string, and it's jumping across to other conversations you've had with it in other chats.
Yes. That's something
And
I really noticed.
it's not supposed to do that. And like you said, you can ask it not to do that, but it's going to.
It's going to do it anyway.
It's going to
Hmm.
do it anyway. Yeah, that was some of the stuff where I found it lying to me is like, why are you giving me this information? Where'd you get this information? Because this has not been part of our discussion here. It was my assumption or my understanding, even from asking it, is each conversation a different conversation with a new agent? And it said, yes, that's not true, unless all the agents are talking to one another, which, that's quite possible as well. But the more you understand about this thing, the more you will be able to leverage it to your benefit. Because we all need it. We all need this thing. Uh, and that's like I'm saying you're going to need it to survive because this is all going to get very competitive. More and more people are starting to use this. It's like when the computer came out, it was like your grandmother took her forever to become a user of the desktop computer. Well, now that's not happening. It's like people are picking this up. We've, non-technical people are using Grok and Chat GPT. And I'm not saying they're getting great results because they don't really know how to talk to it, but they have access to it and they're adopting it at lightning speed. Like usually, as time goes on, things accelerate. Well, we're in the mode of the most rapid acceleration you can even imagine with adoption. And it's a fact that you're going to have to be better at this than the next guy if you want to compete and win and survive. So the more you understand about it, the more that gives you the ability to get creative to use it to your advantage instead of letting it take advantage of you. Now, that said, I'm using it now like for Optimancer, for instance. This is something that, Richard's been asking for years. It's like when you roll out a product, can't you just create the marketing for it for us? Well, now I can because I can just let the AI do it and it's knocking it out at lightning speed. And it's great, but it's not perfect. And like I said, I hope you guys are reading the stuff before you just take it for granted and just post it as is. Because it's not going to be right. Everyone has a different business. Everyone has different parameters. You've got different things in the way you do business and what you offer, and it's not a one size fits all. Like when I give you guys a Kartra funnel, like here's the main pieces that give you the functionality to generate a lead, to give you a follow-up sequence, to give you a sales page. And I'm giving you like all the raw pieces, but you need to edit those. Like when I put the stuff in there, I'm putting it in for my company. So if you don't go in and you change that stuff, you're going to be putting stuff out to your people with my contact information on it. I don't think that's what you want to do. And there's generally a lot of pieces. Like with any given funnel, you could have a tremendous amount of pieces in that funnel. Every piece has to be physically examined and looked through and read. It's like giving you the funnel is like me taking you to the gym. I'll show you where the gym is, I can show you the equipment, but I'm not going to do the push-ups for you. You got to do a little of the work yourself. I'm going to give you the best access to the best equipment and all that, but I can't do the push-ups for you. You know, that would be like me cooking you a gourmet meal and, oh, well, do you want to just sit there and look at it and I'll eat it for you and you can just watch me eat it? You have to participate to really get the benefit. So definitely everything needs to have your eyes on it. You need to be reviewing and editing and making it your own.
I have
So,
a follow-up question.
okay.
So I just recently gathered some great testimonials from my crypto students,
Okay.
and a couple people in their testimonials mentioned that they had turned $1,000 into six figures, and it's from one of the cryptos that I found. But what I did was I put the testimonials all into ChatGPT just to hold it there for me as a placeholder, because I may be like editing some of them, making them shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And it came back and told me that the ones that made any financial claims, that it could be compliance issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's a workaround there? Because I mean, that's pretty phenomenal for people to be able to make six figures in a very difficult market. You know how difficult this market was. This is probably one of the most
Yeah.
difficult markets of all time. And
Well,
yet, I don't want to run into compliance issues either. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
what it's referring to is it's referring to FTC guidelines.
Hmm.
So the Federal Trade Commission has very strict rules about what you can and can't say.
Hmm.
And like this is not just for finance, this is for a lot of different categories they're very sticky about, like health, making health claims, making income claims. Those are probably two of the biggest that they're really, really sticky on. Like, for instance, if you sold a weight loss product and you had somebody that lost 50 pounds using the product, that might be true and that might be documented and that might be well and good. But one of the rules from FTC is if you show a result, you also have to post the average result of
Oh.
all across all of your users,
Hmm.
which I'll tell you right now, in a diet product, the average user is going to gain weight. So you might have one guy that lost 50 pounds, but overall, your average is a net gain of 2 pounds each. And you have to disclose that.
Mm, okay. Hmm.
So, it's a real fine dance of what you can say. And I know with health, I've had a lot of people that have health products and they literally have to water it down so much that they can't be specific about what it did to their health. They can
Mm,
say, I feel so much better. No problem. There's no measurement on feeling.
yeah.
Say, I took the product for 6 months and I just feel great. You
Hmm.
can say that all day long.
Hmm.
But you can't say, that, oh, it cured my arthritis or whatever. You can't do that.
Hmm.
They'll come after you, with an iron mallet and club you over the head for that one. And just ask Perry Belcher. He's a perfect example. He actually got to wear the orange jumpsuit from that. He was in the supplement business many, many years ago. And before he was, a famous internet marketer, he's always been good at selling stuff. A little too good in that case. But, so you have to really be very careful and you have to honor the rules. You know, you should, if you guys are selling stuff and you're doing business online, you really need your policies in place too. You need a privacy policy on your site. If you're doing any kind of affiliate marketing, you need that disclosure on the site. That stuff I talk about, I might get an affiliate commission if you wind up purchasing. You need all those disclaimers. You need all that stuff. Because here's the worst nightmare case scenario you'll ever think of. You sell something to somebody and they're disgruntled. They're not happy. And you're going to have that. You're never going to make everybody happy. So you've got somebody that is just a dirt bag and you've done business with them and now they're after you. And, they might say, oh, well, I want more than my refund back. It actually cost me. And, you know, you're not in business to pay people for making mistakes, right? So you say, no, you get your refund back. That's it. That's where I draw the line. And now this person is pissed and they go out and they make a claim to the FTC that you lied and you misrepresented your product and you're evil. Now, the first thing the FTC is going to do is they're going to look at the claim and then they're going to pull up your website. And if you don't have policies on there, if you don't have disclaimers, if you don't have earnings disclaimers, like let's say this person bought your product thinking they're going to make money and they didn't, and you don't have an earnings disclaimer on your site about we don't guarantee you're going to make a penny on this. All we guarantee is we're going to sell you a product that you could use to generate income. We're not guaranteeing you're going to generate income. That's on you. You have to do all this stuff. If you don't have those disclaimers on your site, the FTC is going to attack you. That's your only line of defense to keep the hounds off. If you don't have it, you're guaranteed you're going to get attacked. If you do have it and it's reasonably done and they look at it and they say, "Oh, well, they complied. This is a bogus claim." I mean, they're all going to be bogus claims. It's just a matter of whether you get attacked or not. So I use a company called FTC Guardian. I've used them for 20 years. The attorney's name is Chip Cooper. He's run a business for the last 20 years helping people get their policies correct. If you go to the bottom of my Internet Dominator website, and this is an affiliate link, by the way, there's my disclaimer for it. I've got a deal with him where he'll give you a lifetime account. I think it's only $4.97. And you can run it for all your businesses. You can generate all the policies pages and all the stuff you're ever going to need for all your websites and all your businesses for lifetime. And it's $4.97. If you just go to his website, you're going to pay $9.97 for that, and then there's an annual fee. So because I've known Chip for so long, he's done that deal with me. So it's $4.97 one time life, you're covered. You don't need to do that. I'm not saying you have to do that. You could go out and you could get boilerplate stuff and just do it yourself if you want to. But that's what I've done. I've just gone with
Fantastic.
Chip,
Thank
and
you.
he's always taken care of me. So
Looking forward to it. Thanks. That's awesome.
yeah, cool. All right. Is that it, Delilah?
Yeah, I mean, that was the
Gotcha.
main
Okay.
thing because I just got the testimonials and I haven't put them on my site yet. So I'm trying to, you know, figure out how to make it compliant before putting it on the site, you know. So
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
testimonials are greatly written, but some of them I might have to shorten just for the purposes of the website. But
Yeah. I
with the financial ones, I was a little concerned about. Some people saying they doubled or tripled their portfolios. Some people saying they made
Yeah,
six
I
figures.
would,
You know,
honestly, I would steer clear away from specifics.
yeah.
I
Hmm.
would just say like I did really well or I did beyond my expectations.
One person said it was life-changing money. Should I say that, or is that not good either?
I just
Like
dropped the
life-changing is
money.
different to
I
just
just
life.
dropped the money. It was life-changing for me.
It was life-changing. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's a
because
great idea.
now you're falling back on feelings.
Hmm. Okay.
So you can get away with feelings all day long. You just
Hmm.
can't get away with specific claims.
Got it.
So yeah,
Awesome.
that's I'd try and stick to that bucket as much as you can.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, John, can I share my screen with you? I
Sure.
want to get
Sure.
feedback from you. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. So, website's coming along great. I've got a lot of terrific feedback from people that I value their opinion on.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
the the one question that I have is there's two paths that I want a website visitor to go. One is to get speaking gigs,
Okay.
and the speaking gigs are to do the number one thing that I want are getting um, people to work with me, to um, take care of their AI solutions, white label offerings. And I had a question. I'm trying to find my sticky note.
Are you talking about like paid speaking, like to be a
Yeah.
paid speaker?
Well, no, I mean, I'll do paid speaking, but really, I'm looking for speaking gigs to help my target audience, which are business coaches, consultants, and speakers.
Okay.
So
So
you see
that's
my sticky note here?
about the 31 years.
No, no, no. It's probably not. No, actually, you can't see it.
No,
Let me
I'm not
just.
seeing any. I'm not seeing any sticky notes.
Yeah, no. I just realized, and
But
I.
what you want to do, like the whole,
Yeah,
I know a lot of people that are on the whole speaker path.
yeah,
I just talked to Gina about this yesterday. Uh, it's really hard to get a paid speaking gig. Those are like really hard to come by. You
yeah.
almost have to position yourself as the top of the pile
Sure.
and be sought after to get those kind of opportunities. They're out
Right.
there, but they're not something like you should waste real estate, prime real estate on
Yeah,
your site for.
yeah.
What I would try and do is try and identify like your prime channels of bringing someone into your funnel. And one of them might be like SaaS software is great for this. Like your white label,
Yeah,
offering a product or service, then you can bring them in and then you can get opportunities based off of that. Like if you want to do private consulting, for instance, that's a great way to do it. Bring them in at an entry point, like sell them something, a lower value product, and then you've piqued their interest. And then you say, hey, I can help you more. I can get you. And what people will pay for is they'll pay for speed and ease. Speed and ease are two of the biggest things that people will pay a lot of money for. And
gotcha.
making it easy and doing it quickly. So if you can position yourself as a coach or a mentor or anything like that that gives them speed and ease to get what they want, that's a really good way to do the value ladder.
Gotcha.
But you
Gotcha.
got to get them in and you got to get their trust first. So you do that on a lower barrier to entry item.
I agree.
So
So, um, the question is, do you think it makes sense to structure the site with two clear paths, one for AI services and one for speaking? Like, if you land on this page right now, people are going to think this is a speaker site.
yeah. I would say I would reposition speaker to
Okay.
coaching. Because a speaker, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different industry. That's like where people are looking for speakers to come out to their events.
Okay.
And I think what you're referring to is more of a coach where you're helping them do something in their particular business, right?
Yeah.
So that's more coaching than speaking.
Yeah. I agree.
So you might want to work on the messaging. As far as the website, don't get hung up on the website that it
Sure.
has to be like perfect right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because your website, every few months, you're gonna think of something new and you'll be
Oh, yeah.
updating and changing it. So don't get hung up on, it's got to be absolutely perfect out
Oh,
of the
yeah.
gate.
Yeah. No, but
But
my
but
goal is to have this site out in the next 2 weeks.
yeah, this goes back to your marketing, and this is a really good point for everybody. You have to get clarity in what you're doing. And I was at one of Craig's groups just a few weeks ago. He had like 8 people there, and I listened to them for a day. They were doing a mastermind group, a whole day. And it was like nobody was clear on what they were doing. And they were all frustrated. They were, I mean, a couple of the people literally were on the edge of being in tears over it. And the second day I asked Craig when we started up, I said, "Hey, can you just give me the floor for about 10 minutes? I just want to like reiterate observations of yesterday and where I think I can be of help here." And I just came out and I said, "Your biggest problem, everyone sitting here, your biggest problem is clarity. You're not clear on what you're doing. You're not clear on who it's for. You're not clear on why they would want it. And that's going to make the job of sales and marketing impossible. It's going to be absolutely impossible. And all you're going to do is you're going to be looking for the next shiny object to grab a hold of, thinking it's going to solve your problem, and it's not. No shiny object ever has solved the problem of clarity. That's on you. That's like, taking you to the gym. You still have to do the push-ups. You've got to get clear on your whole strategies. It's a strategy first. Like I see so many people going to seminar after seminar chasing the shiny objects, and they don't have a strategy to attach it to. So they're vulnerable. They'll buy anything and everything that comes along thinking it's the answer to their prayers, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have to sit down with a pen and paper or a computer or a laptop or whatever you use, and you've got to structure out what you're doing, and like who it's for and why they want it. And that's how you're going to be able to create your messaging. And by the way, that's the A in ACT. That's the analysis piece. If you don't do that, you're really going to have a tough time. So figuring out, and here's one of the lessons in ACT, and I know a lot of you guys have not even been through it, and that's a big mistake. I know it's easier to jump on the calls and ask questions, but you need this foundation. You really do. You really need this foundation to be successful. You need the clarity of, the timeline is one of the exercises. And the timeline is a good look at your prospect. After you've figured out your most profitable market, and then you figured out the avatar, now we're down to like, okay, here's our mouse. Here's the mouse we're trying to trap. Now, with all that data from that analysis, that build a buyer report, we know a lot about that mouse. Now we have to get clear on, okay, what is the mouse's path through life? We know where he's at. He's frustrated. He doesn't have what he wants. He wants the cheese and he doesn't know how to get it. If he did, you wouldn't be an answer to his prayers, right? So you look at the timeline. Where he is, that's the current state. And it's really important to understand that current state, because then you'll understand what he's going through or what she's going through, the frustrations, the fears, what they're hearing, and how it's affecting them, the beliefs it's creating. Those beliefs are going to create the objections. That's going to keep them from becoming your customer. So understanding the timeline of where they are is really, really a key. And then you got to look to and for me, timeline is left to right. Some of you, it's front to back. For me, it's left to right. There's no right or wrong. Whatever it is for you, that's great. But look at the end of the timeline, whether that's over to the right or out in front of you. Some people it'll be behind. No judgment. But look at the outcome. That's the desired outcome. So on one side, you have current state. On the other side, you have desired outcome. You need to understand both of those. You have to understand their frustration of where they're at, what's going on. You also have to understand where they want to go, what they want, why they want it, how important it is that they get it. And then the rest of the timeline, think about it like a fish. The tail is the current state, the head is the future. Now, the backbone. The backbone is what leads from the tail to the head, and that's their path. And currently, now you've got a skeleton. Now you need to put some meat on the bones. This is where you're going to fill it with content. This is your presentation. Your presentation to sell your product, whatever it is it's going to start at the tail. It's going to start at that where they are. You're going to tell them a story about getting what they want. And you're going to plug you in as the best way to do it. That's your presentation. And in ACT, the key pieces are grab attention. That's your first piece. You have to grab their attention if you want to get them engaged to even present to them. That's your big idea. That's how you do it. That's the mechanics behind it. Now, moving forward, you have to do something called create demand and desire. This is going to be in your storytelling, how you're associating with them. You understand their frustrations. You understand exactly what they're going through. You might have a story that says, "Hey, I was there. I was just like you." A lot of people have products because they developed it for themselves. This makes a great story, by the way. If your product was to get you from that shitty state to the state where you wanted to be, and you find a bunch of people that are in that shitty state and you show them the way, that's a great story. That's a great way to create demand and desire. Now, along the way, along the path, they're going to have objections in their head that this doesn't work. This is bullshit. I've tried this. I've tried that, whatever. That also comes out of the analysis. There's a tool in quantum called hears and fears. That's what they're hearing and the fears it's creating. Those are the beliefs. It was Benjamin Franklin that created the formula to eliminate those beliefs, or actually swap those beliefs. Like if they believe they can't, he's got a formula to make them believe they can. Now, do you think your odds go up or down of that person purchasing your product, whether they believe they can use it or they believe they can't use it? There's a big difference there. If they've got objections that are based on beliefs, which they all are, they're not going to buy your product. They're not going to buy anything if they have an objection to it. They're not going to buy anything unless they're clear on what it is and what it's going to do for them. That clarity. You really, really need to understand this to properly create a sales presentation. The sales presentation is the funnel. That's what we talk about. This is a marketing funnel. It's a journey from taking a prospect from where they are to where they want to be in their mind creates demand and desire for it. If you eliminate objections and you make them an offer, you should make a sale. You should be able to turn a customer or a prospect into a customer using that formula. So back to your website. Website is a creation piece. And a lot of times we love to jump into creation. I'm no different. I love to jump into creation. And whenever I struggle with creation, it's almost always because I look back and I'm like, oh, I don't really know who I'm talking to, or I don't really understand their journey. And it makes it hard. It makes it almost impossible. So making sure that you're following the process makes things so much easier. And when it comes to the website, if you understand where your prospect is, you understand what is the first thing I could give them to help them move forward. I've got really good examples of this in the dating world. There's a dating funnel that just describes this out to a T. And it goes like this. The guy that made this, he made it for himself. He figured out, how to get what he wanted. And then he sold it. to all the people that were in the same state he was in when he was frustrated and he didn't know how to talk to women. So he realized, okay, if if the desired outcome, and I'll just be really blunt with this. The desired outcome was sex. That's what the desired outcome was. He wanted sex, didn't know how to get it, didn't know how to talk to women. And what he discovered was there's no way I can get to the sex part unless I can start a conversation with a woman, right? Not a chance in hell that's going to happen. You're not just going to open your front door and they're not just going to jump on you, right? There's a process. And it starts with you have to be able to speak to them. So he came right out and he said, "Hey guys, I understand your frustration and here's the real truth of it. I discovered this myself. The real truth is if you don't know how to speak to women and you can't start a conversation, you have no hope. You're going to remain as you are, nothing's going to change, and you're going to live your life as you're living it right now forever. And life's too long to live like that." Usually you say life's too short. No, life's too long to live in misery, right? So he said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the first thing you need. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you the freebie. This was his lead magnet. This is what got them to opt in. I'm going to share the secret with how to get women to talk to you. That's the first step. If you can do that, guaranteed you can get the rest of the way. But if you can't get this first step, you're doomed. And that was his freebie. So he gave that away at the tail of the fish. They opted in. They got that. And guess what? It wasn't any magic. It wasn't any science. It was literally, hey, to talk to women, you just got to open your mouth. Go out and try it and come back and tell me how it worked. That's it. They literally could not put that together in their head on their own. I mean, that's crazy, right? But they did what he said. They went out, they talked to women, and they're all excited. They're like, "Oh my God, women have never talked to me before." Well, that was because they didn't start. They didn't talk to them. So naturally, yeah, no women's just going to run up and want to talk to you, right? You initiate. So this got them so excited. They're like, "All right, what do I do now? What do I do now?" Well, now you buy my course and I walk you through the rest of the process. Bang, instant sale. Didn't have to do much more than that. It was a low dollar sale, and it was like, "Hey, I'm going to take you up to the point with this $27 product of how to actually ask them out on a date," right? Because if you're going to have sex, you're going to have to go through this dating thing and it's a ritual and you need to learn it, right? 27 bucks. So they buy it. They go through it. He's right on the money. They're doing what he says and it's working. But now there's a big gap between going on a date and getting in the sack, right? So he does the game again. He does another lead magnet. Usually you don't do two lead magnets in a funnel, but he did another lead magnet to take him up into his higher program. He's like, "Look, guys, if you want to have sex, the first thing, just like if you wanted to get here, you had to be able to talk to them. Well, now you have to know when and how the first kiss is going to go down." And they say, and he's really pumping it up. He's like, "This is the make it or break it. On the first kiss, this is where the women decide whether this is going to happen or not. And you get one shot at a first kiss, right?" And he knew from the timeline that the biggest problem, the biggest hurdle in this guy's mind was rejection. Terrified of rejection. So he said, I have a secret formula. I'm going to show you how to go in for the kiss when the time is right. And I'm going to show you how to do it with zero chance of rejection. In fact, if they're going to reject you, it will throw them for such a loop, it'll put you in the power position. And I mean, this is just like music to this guy's ears, right? He's going to opt in for that. Not sure why my hand keeps raising there, but anyway, he's maybe I was as excited as he was. I don't know. So he does this opt-in. In this opt-in, once they get this, it's the next higher program. So now he's selling, a $200 program, how to take the next steps after this. And it was the KISS test that he gave away. That was what he gave away, was the KISS test. Simple freebie to lock them into the next phase. But it's all about creating demand and desire, moving them along the timeline. The more you give them, and the more they can do to prove to themselves that they can actually do this, their demand and desire will go through the roof to work with you, to buy your products, and to have you be their mentor. And like for Kevin, that's what he wants. He wants to be the mentor, the high-end coach. The more you can lead them and give them things that they can prove to themselves that they can do it, that really puts you on a pedestal. It makes them want to give you more money, to be there for them. You become an integral piece of their success, and they start to believe they can't do it without you.
Hey, John, it's Shar. I just wanted to say to everybody, I have been doing your masterclass of the 20 buying triggers, and I'm getting a whole lot out of it. Now, when I create my marketing piece, I'll ask my marketing piece, okay, which one of the buying triggers does this address?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's really good. That's really powerful info.
reverse engineering it. So I'm taking all the stuff I've ever created and say, tell me which one of the buying triggers this addresses. And then I may say to it, okay, well, can you go ahead and include this buying trigger in the copy or in the visual? So,
yeah. You have the Quantum Suite, right?
I do.
So,
And so I'm going through the whole ACT program, but I know one of the areas that I need to strengthen in is understanding what the buying triggers are.
yeah, go in. There's an actual tool in the Quantum Suite that's called Buying Trigger Persuasion Engine.
Yes, I've used that too.
Yeah, it will give you all of your buying triggers in one shot. And it
Yeah.
will also tell you where and how to use them.
Yes, I'm working through all of it, but I need to jump off and do another meeting. But I just
Okay.
wanted to jump on here and encourage everybody that if they have not done your masterclass where you go through the 20 different triggers in each video, it's well worth it. It's well worth the time. I'm about halfway through them now. So
Awesome.
thank you again for everything.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, and for those of you that don't know what she's talking about there, it's on my website on the internetdominators.com. It's the top offer. It's a free masterclass going through the top 20 buying triggers, emotional triggers. So anyway, this is like part of the stuff that you really need to do before you move into the creation mode. Creation is really important. That's where you're literally creating your messaging, whether it be your website, your presentation, your ads, your social media posts, anything, anything at all to do with how you run and drive your business is creation. And you got to base that creation on the analysis of the market, the avatar, and that timeline is really a critical piece for me. That's like the magic behind the whole thing. I based Frank Kern does a training called Magic Model, And he follows that. His whole presentation is based on the timeline. It's taking someone through that process. And I watched that. I watched his presentation on Magic Model. And when I did the Glacier Kennedy, I spoke at Glacier Kennedy back in, I think it was 2011. And I based the whole presentation on his Magic Model process. And I went, and there was 2,000 people in the audience. And this was the biggest audience I'd ever spoke to. And it was really, there's 2,000 people there, but almost everybody had a partner. So it was really like 1,000 businesses, 2 people per business. So I had a big audience, and this was really like an important presentation I was going to give. So I based it on the Magic Model. I did the presentation, and I made my offer at the end based on that presentation. And I literally walked out the back door with $140,000 in sales. It was a really good day. And it was totally based on that whole timeline thing. It was just walking them down, making a presentation that created so much demand and desire for what I was offering. I eliminated all the objections, made them an irresistible offer, and I'm like, holy shit, if I didn't think this stuff worked before, I do now. So it really is important that you do the legwork up front. Because if I hadn't have really got into the heads of who was in that room, I wouldn't have been able to deliver that presentation like I did. I wouldn't have been able to create it. The creation part is based on the analysis.
Hey, John, I was I, as you know, I was a member of Glazer Kennedy. Question, did you charge Bill Glazer or Dan Kennedy a shoe fee?
No, but that was why I got the gig. It was the shoe story.
Yeah,
That was absolutely why I got it.
I love that story.
Bill Glazier had contacted me. Perry Belcher referred him to me. He says, "Yeah," because I don't remember even what his problem was, but he had some kind of a problem with the search engine with Google. And Perry told him, "Yeah," he goes, "Call John. He'll have the answer for you." So I didn't know who he was. He just calls me, and he says, "Yeah, I'm a friend of Perry's, and he said you could help me." And I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah, what can I do for you?" And he told me what his problem was. And again, I don't really even remember what it was, but I just gave him the answer. I said, "Yeah, here's what you got to do." And he's like, how do you know that?" He says, "I've talked to the brightest people in this space and nobody could give me that answer. Why is it that you can just rattle it off the top of your head?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know who you're talking to, but this is common. This isn't like, magic. This isn't voodoo. This is just the way it works." And he was really impressed with that. And we started talking, and I don't even know how we got on the subject, but I gave him my shoe story about how I charged a client $350 to wear a pair of shoes because they requested it. And when I came home, my wife Barb was doing my billing at the time, and I told her to write the bill up, and I said, add a $350 shoe fee on it. And she's like, "Oh, what?" I'm like, "They want to pay 350 bucks for me to wear a pair of tennis shoes." And she's like, "No, no, you can't." I'm like, "No, you have to. They've requested it. You have to do it. They're expecting it." And every time they called to book me, they requested the shoe fee. They're like, "Put the shoe fee on." So for years, I charged this company $350 to wear a pair of shoes for an hour. And Bill got such a kick out of that. He's like, "Oh my God." He goes, "You have to come and speak at the Glacier Kennedy." I forget what they even called it, their annual thing. So that's how that went down. But he loved that story.
Oh, I know Bill. He would be in tears laughing at that story. He would love that. So I can picture him.
Yeah. It's funny, the Glacier Kennedy, when I went there, everybody said, "Oh, this is so important that you dress for the room," because they're all wearing, suit and tie. And I'm like, "Yeah, well, that ain't happening. I'll wear a sport coat and what have you, but I am not putting on a tie. Sorry. Like you're lucky if you get shoes out of me." But I went down and I bought a really nice suit, you know, minus the tie, but I bought a really nice suit. It's like a $2,000 suit. And, all the wardrobe and everything. I show up like the day before the that I'm going to speak because I wanted to see, get the feel for what was going on there. And nobody recognized me. Like I'm there in the middle of everybody. Nobody knew who I was. And I'm like kind of feeling a little out of place. And then that night, I realized I forgot to give my little USB to the guy in the AV department. So I jump up and I throw on my Dominator sweatshirt, my shorts, and my flip-flops, and I go down the elevator. And I swear, I'm not kidding you, the doors to the elevator open, and here's all the people that I've spent all day with, and they're like, "Oh my God, there he is! He's here!" And I'm like, "You got to be shitting me." So I told him when I dropped off the AV, I'm like, "Yeah, I ain't wearing that suit on the stage. Sorry. I'm wearing my Dominator gear."
Classic.
So it's just, that's just, I guess, who I am. So,
That's your brand.
yeah. But I thought it was hilarious. They did not even see me wearing the suit. I was invisible. I was just a sheep in the herd.
I don't think I'd recognize you, John, in a suit.
I
So
know, I know. It'd probably scare some people to see that. Almost scared me. I saw myself in the mirror and I'm like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be what they do to me when they put me in a casket."
uh,
But anyway, I don't know how I got onto that
no,
onto that
that
track.
was good. Thank you, John. Oh, and
John,
I'll see you tomorrow. But I know you got a birthday coming up, so
Yeah, yeah,
maybe the rest of the group doesn't know, but your birthday is next Tuesday, March 3rd.
yeah, that's
It's the
it.
same day as my brother. His name's Jack. Um,
I'll be able to collect Social Security on Tuesday.
but John,
Yeah, go ahead, Gregory.
thank you. I want to jump off on what you just said there. Um, I've been wearing I belong to the committee of 300. It's the booster club for the Grand Prix of Long Beach. It's a red jacket with black and white checkers on the shoulders, on the sleeves. The bottom line is, I wear it virtually everywhere. And when I walk into a room, people know me right off. Oh,
From the
there's Greg
jacket.
Sand from the jacket, exactly.
Yep.
And virtually no one else is wearing the same jacket. And even I went to a semi-business thing, and I was debating jacket or red jacket, black jacket or red jacket. I went the red jacket, and I was so happy I did because when I walked in, 5 people knew me right off the gate.
Yeah.
Walked in, oh, there's Greg, and it was really cool. So I highly encourage find your niche to what to wear
Yeah.
and be consistent with it, and then, as John says, they know you. Thank you.
Well, that totally comes down to branding. And branding is creation. So what you want to do is you want to identify who you're branding for. Brand for the market. And
I mean, that's 150,000% correct. I was trying to get ready for another meeting, but when I heard that, I couldn't help but jump back on. But the red jacket, and you were talking about the sweatshirt. people they use visual cues for identification. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. I mean, I think we all know this, is that when we decide that I don't know if this is a good car or not, I'm just going to call it out, but we go to the car dealership to buy a red Kia, then the next thing we know, that every car that we see going down the street is a red Kia. So
Yeah.
that's all about brand recognition and brand identification. So be very, very aware of what you do for your brand identity. And color, Gregory, is one of the greatest assets that you can use for your brand identity. So just be consistent and dogmatic about the color. And a lot of times that will help you get a really, really big brand impact.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really important. And AI can help with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you tell AI what you're doing and what your theme is, what you're trying to convey, it can help you come up with a color scheme.
Yeah,
Especially,
it'll give
especially
you
if,
your
sorry,
CMYK and hex colors too. Sorry about
especially if you have a story with it.
Hmm. Yeah, there's actually a tool in Quantum called ChromaCore,
that.
and
Mm-hmm.
it will help with brand colors, like setting up what colors go together and best colors for your brand. So that is a part of your identity. And it's interesting. You said, you know, when you buy a red Kia and then you see them everywhere, they were already there. You just weren't seeing them because you didn't have that retinal activation to it.
Correct, the awareness. So, again, it's really about being consistent with everything that you do when it comes down to your branding, from your color to your font to your logo to your images, right? So, just be very cognizant about creating a brand image library for yourself. I don't remember the last time I had to go look for an image when I wanted to create a marketing piece, because throughout my day, throughout my life, I'll see an image and I just automatically drop it into my brand in my image library. So
Yeah, yeah. I have just having a folder on your desktop with all your corporate stuff. It just makes it super easy.
yeah. And I just want to say I'm gonna get off for real this time because I gotta go start this work now. Happy Pisces birthday. Mine was yesterday and yours
Oh,
is what,
cool.
Tuesday?
Yep, I'm on Tuesday, the 3rd.
Okay, all right then. So we share the Pisces thing. So bye everyone. I'll catch you guys next week.
All right.
All right then. Bye-bye.
All right. Anybody else? I've got one more thing I want to cover here real quick, unless anybody's got anything else you wanted me to hit.
I got it right now.
All right, go
Ready?
ahead. Yep.
Everybody get together. Everybody? Happy birthday to you. Come on, guys, join me.
Happy birthday
Birthday
to
to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
John.
John.
Happy
Birthday
birthday to you.
and many more.
Many, many more.
Oh, well, thank you guys. That was awesome. Awesome or horrible, I don't know. We might need some singing lessons, but I gotta tell you though, Gregory, you did better than I did on the last one. I was leading the last one. It was atrocious. Daryl, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure, maybe you're coming up to this, but Chad, who's on here today, and is my partner in crime, are working on selling to SEO pros.
Okay.
We've kicked around, the affiliate option. We've kicked around the idea of selling. You sell your customer, we'll charge you this much, you keep the difference, and we do the work. But we've had some that want to have access to our program on an individual account basis because they don't want us working on their client stuff. So they want to be able to have access, and they're willing to pay us on a per customer basis, but they want to be able to do the work. How do we, or is there a way for us to go about that with OptumAnswer? All of a sudden, I lost my volume.
You're
No, that
muted.
was me. Actually, I was muted.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that what I was saying was that's a that's a different type of customer. So you might have multiple customers, and I'll give you a perfect example. And you just said it. You might want to be an affiliate and just not be in the middle, so you're selling the product. And that's one whole presentation. There's another, you might want to be the business. You might want to buy the product and then just sell the service. So that's a whole different customer. That's a whole different process, whole different presentation. So understanding, again, like who your audience is and what their journey is, what that timeline looks for. That's going to be how you create your positioning of it. So with Optimancer, it's really easy. Like I said, if you target people that are WordPress owners, super simple. You just put in the WordPress plugin. It does the three things. You prove it, you get paid. Super simple. If you've got somebody that's not a WordPress site, you can still take them as a customer, and you can do it in two ways. One way is, in my opinion, a little bit suicidal, and that's wanting to do everything for them. You don't know what their system is. You don't know what security they've got in play. You don't know what other people are in the mix, in the ointment, and you're going to get blamed for everything. That's why I say that's a suicidal approach.
Right.
If you get somebody that's not WordPress, in my opinion, what I would do with them, the only thing I would do with them is I would say, what I'll do is I'll run your report. I'll show you where you're off, what you need, and then I will generate the files for you and hand them off to you. I'll generate the LLM, I'll generate the schema files, I'll generate the FAQs, I'll hand them to you, your team takes it from there. Once they're done, I'll run you another report, show you that it's installed and done correctly. That's the way I would do it.
Right. So that's what we could do if we're working with a SEO pro and they don't want us to have anything totally hands off in their client. Would be, okay, we create the file and we just give you that file.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it will totally do that.
Yeah.
It'll give you the file.
I try to make things too complicated, so.
Yeah. No, if they've already got an SEO guy in there, he knows how to put the files in. He knows how to do all that stuff.
Okay.
And if you go in there and say, yeah, I'll do this for you, and you've got another person in there that's doing stuff aside you, anything that gets broken, guaranteed you're going to get the blame for it.
Right.
And they break shit all the time. And
that was the scary part of one of the options.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
Okay.
Like in many cases, in the past, I wouldn't take on a client to do SEO unless we had built the website. We were in control of the website. That was, like one of my criteria. I only did SEO for my clients. So there was a few cases where I would work with, and usually I was working with their team, and I was not in their inner workings. I was more working with them as a consultant. So, and that always worked right. But I was never one to go and jump inside a can of worms that I wasn't in control of or didn't know what I was getting myself into. That's not my idea of a good day.
We're trying to come up with an option because I've had some health issues on my wife's side, so I haven't been as active as as Chad has. He's doing just tremendous with AI and building everything.
Oh, cool.
But it seems like it's almost as difficult to convince an SEO guy to buy the product at the affiliate level as compared to selling per customer license and skip the affiliate and probably make more money in the process.
Yeah, well, SEO
Does that
guys,
perception make sense?
SEO guys are a strange brew. They really are. What you are probably more likely to find is agency owners. People that call themselves agency owners operate differently than SEO guys. SEO guys are usually like low on the totem pole of entrepreneurship. They're tinkerers, they're hackers. They don't really think business so much. An agency owner, here's the difference. An agency owner is in business to supply services. He doesn't care if it's SEO or AIO or whatever it is. If there's money in it, he's in it to run the agency for profit. So the agency owners, it's a very attractive offer for an agency owner to buy the SaaS software and have the ability to take, a thing that costs them $10 and sell it for $100 a month or $200 a month or whatever. Big difference in your mouse. And an SEO guy has, depends on tricks and gimmicks and they're just wrapped up in that one thing. They're not thinking outside the box. They're not thinking on the agency owner level typically. Now there's some people that do SEO, like Jim on here. Jim does SEO, but he's thinking much higher than that. SEO is just a thing he offers to generate profit in the rest of what he does. So he's more of an agency mindset. But if you get the guy that just does SEO, that wouldn't be, for me, that wouldn't be an ideal target.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody, I guarantee you this, anybody that is ever done SEO, SEO is not something you want as a career. It's very mind numbing. It's repetitious. It's like being in a rat wheel. You want to do strategy, you want to do SEO strategy, you want to be above, and then you want to hire the labor, cheap labor to, to turn the wrenches. So agency owners is more where it's at. They're looking at running the business. What services can we offer that are easy to implement, highly profitable, and not complicated? And Optimancer, if you do it right, if you focus on WordPress owners, it fills all the bills. If you go outside that, then it starts getting complicated. But the least
sure
complicated.
Yeah, I'm sure you can tell we've changed our mind a few times and thinking like we've gone full circle here, John, whether or not we should just go out and sell to the end user, the end client, the business owner that has a WordPress website. Let us take care of it and call it good and kind of forget the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I refer to it as a smash and grab. It's just taking the easy money. And agency owners love the idea of a smash and grab. They love that model. It's almost like in the BizOp world, it's totally different world, totally different avatar. In the BizOp world, they love the smash and grab, but it's a different thing. They love the easy money, the big money, easy money, quick money, all of that. So, all right, let me say there's been a lot of confusion, I think, about what we're giving as support for Optimancer. So I just want to hit that real quick. Show you, if you go into, we actually we consolidated all of our traffic stuff into one membership area. Like you notice there's the AIO Dominator, there's SitePop, there's Optimancer. So all three of our optimization traffic products are now under one lid. It depends on what level you are as to what you get access to under these openings. Like if you're an Optimancer and you're just in the regular level, you don't get access to the white label tab, but you get access to everything else. But under the white label tab, this is all the stuff that I'm giving you guys to help you. The widget. This is the AI widget. This is what you put on your site that you can have customers come to your website and run a free report. Now, the the widget is not connected to Optimancer. So when they run the report, it's not like setting up a report inside your Optimancer. It's a one-off. It's just a lead magnet. It also doesn't have any ability to put them in your Optimancer account as a lead. It's just an attention grabber lead magnet. So what I highly recommend is I highly recommend that you create a landing page that they opt into to generate the free report that the widget does. That way, now they're in your CRM, you can follow up with them, you can market to them, you can present that marketing funnel, that presentation to turn them into a customer. When they become a customer, that's when you go and you add them to your Optimancer agency account. You set up a project for that new customer that you've got. And then you do that business, that fulfillment, and they pay you. But the idea is Optimancer is not a CRM. It's not, it's not a system where you can make marketing funnels. It's an optimization program. That's all it does. Runs a report, gives you a baseline, gives you a plug-in to do the work, and then reports that it's complete. It's very simple. So and as simple as it is, there's a lot of steps to it. It's doing a lot of work, tremendous amount of work behind the scenes for you. But that's what this widget thing is. Now, I've also created a marketing funnel around it. This widget, this is where you download it, and these are the instructions to set it up. What it does, here's how you actually configure your settings. So you'll notice there's powered by your name agency. You have to change that. Change that to powered by, and I put Internet Dominators. Uh, Richard had a fit over that because when he plugged it in, it said Internet Dominators. And I was like, Richard, these are files you edit. It's like I said, when you use AI to generate stuff, you have to go through and you have to make changes. You have to update this stuff. Notice in the agency contact info, this appears in the PDF report. This is generating as you give it away. So you need to put your agency name, your contact email, and your phone number. Now, if you don't want a phone number, you just leave it blank. Just leave the two little quotes, nothing in the middle, and it will eliminate it. You could do that with all of this stuff, but why wouldn't you want powered by, and why wouldn't you want your agency name and contact information on the report? Right? Simple stuff.
John, I found out that if you do have the $200 and $20, I had the basic Kartra account that doesn't let you edit HTML, but if you have the next level up, which is another $120,
Yeah.
I had a buddy that knows coding, and he went in there and fixed it in about an hour. Even corrected the colors and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's doable. So
Oh yeah, it's super super simple. Here's different colors that you can change out and all that. So it's simple instructions, but it does require, like changing. And here it even says, leave powered by text empty or omit it entirely just by leaving the quotes with nothing in the middle. If you wanted to do that. And in Kartra, like I'll show you how easy this actually is. This is my page where I have the actual tool on it. So I'm just going to edit the Kartra page here. And then here's the checker, and it's an HTML component. So when I click on it to edit, here's the code. Here's the powered by. I just changed the text right there. Update it, updates it on the site. And here's the contact information, agency, email, phone number. And then it's got the actual widget address where the widget lives. Now that's important that you upload the widget to your base domain into your folder. If you're setting this up manually, I've done the one on the Kartra and I put the thing up on my site. So if you don't want to change that, it'll still work. But if you're doing this manually and you're starting from scratch and you're putting it up as HTML files, you need to load that file up and then reference where that file URL is. So that's really important. Also, Richard had pointed out before that this page should have a link to actually order the service right here. And I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. So I did that. I went through and I edited the funnel and put that in. So there is a button here, optimize my site for AI. That will take them to the sales page. So I'll show you guys what the actual funnel looks like in here. I think there's 7 pages to it. So notice there's AI optimization analysis. This is the lead magnet page. And I have a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, and a number 4. So there's 4 different opt-in pages based on 4 different avatars. So they have slightly different text, slightly different images, but the page structure is identical. If you look at the actual page, it's the same thing. It's just different messaging, different image, but what you get, and then the opt-in. You know, on the HTML files, I've noticed that they have a thing here that wants you to put the URL in. You don't need the URL for the opt-in. The URL is added in the Optimancer widget plugin anyway, so you don't need it here. All you need is their name and email, and now they're in your Kartra database. Now your Kartra follows up with the sequence to sell them on the product. So where that sale button goes, let's see if I can find that one. Where does the sale button go? Oh, here it is. So I made a services founders offer. So this is where I'm sending them as a sale. So this is to fix their site. So I've got some, just some sales stuff here. Tells them what you're going to do, LLM file creation, installation, AI optimized schema markup, made and put in, FAQ, creation and publishing. So that's what they get if they take this founders offer today. In WordPress, I've got, and you can change this to whatever pricing you want. I don't know why this is kind of skewed here, but it's $197 to set up, and then $97 a month was the founders offer that I put in place here. Again, you can change these prices to anything you want. Or the non-WordPress. And this is what I was just talking to Daryl about. You get a before and after AI visibility report. We create the LLM file for you. We create the schema site-wide. Create the content, the Q&A content site-wide. And then we hand off the package for your webmaster with comprehensive implementation instructions. And that's in the report. The report actually generates all the files, all the stuff, and the instructions for it for handoff. So that's what we did for, for a sales page. And those are all in the funnel, in the Kartra funnel. Let's see here. And here it is. There's the link to that page.
What is this product called? I'm unfamiliar. I've been gone for a few months. So.
Yeah, this is called Optimancer. This is for agencies that wanted optimize people's websites to be AI optimized.
Oh,
So it's like, if you don't have these three things, like here's the three things to be optimized for AI that you have to have. If you don't have these three things, your site basically is invisible to AI. When AI is looking to answer somebody's question, you won't be part of the answers unless you've got these three things working for you.
thank you.
So that then it's called Optimancer. I see it's got some. I need to go in and adjust my text settings here. So anyway, that's the files. And then another thing, when you download the file, let me go back to this page. So when you go to the marketing funnel, this is the folder for all the funnel files. So if you want to do this manually, you download the all the files, and it's going to give you all the stuff. And it's in a nice little folder called Optimancer Lead Gen Funnel. And look at all the files in here. These are all AI generated. You should edit these. You don't want to just copy and paste these. These are not made for your business. These are made for generic. These need to be customized to your business. So these are not just copy and paste. These are review, edit, then copy and paste. So there's an executive summary, and this basically goes over the complete marketing package for Optimancer agency members. Tells you what you've received. Gives
Hey,
you
John.
a breakdown. Yes, go ahead,
Hey,
Sean.
John. Can everybody mute themselves? Somebody's got their TV on in the background.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see here. I think that was Daryl. Okay, so
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. So document one is a strategic game plan. This is like the overview. I kind of just went over that with you. And then what's inside? Official naming for all components, a two-level positioning. One of the positions is basically for agencies to sell to clients. The other one is selling to agencies. So this would be more of an affiliate approach. If you were selling the product as an affiliate to other people, you would take this positioning. Then there's value proposition. And again, all this stuff was generated by AI. So it's pretty cool stuff, but you need to go through it. It's not just, I'm just going to copy and paste this and I'm done. You need to really go through and understand this stuff. Now, document two is the landing page copy. I showed you the 4 versions. So there's 4 versions of landing page copy. Number 1 is fear-based. This is for cold traffic from ads. Number 2 is a curiosity-based approach for warm traffic from content. So like, let's say you're posting content into some place where you're known, like social media. That would be a better approach. Number 3 is authority educational approach for professional services. And then an ultra short version for high intent traffic. Like if you got somebody that just wants to buy it, just send them to number 4. Done. So that's why there's 4 versions of the same page. It's for different audiences. So it knows you're not going to have just one avatar. You might have multiple. Now, again, these are not for you to sell this as an affiliate. These landing pages is if you're an agency and you're trying to get customers. You're trying to get people to opt in to take the free lead magnet. Okay, so document 3, this is the agency positioning and sales copy. So this is like for the lead gen system. So it's got all the stuff for that. And then document 4 is the 7-day email nurture sequence. This is again for your leads to convert them into customers. Let's see. Document 5 is a master implementation guide. Again, this is AI generated. This is just kind of like walking you through the process. This is all stuff. There's no way in hell I would go to this extent to generate this much stuff for somebody, but with AI, now I can do it. Because there's a lot of people that want this level of handholding. And I just have never been available to do that. So this is really cool that I can do this now. So quick start guide. Number 1, review the strategic game plan. Number 2, set up your landing page. Number 3, set up your thank you page. Number 4, load the email sequence. Number 5, drive the traffic. Follow up and close. Like, this would drive me out of my mind if you ask me to walk you through this. I'm assuming that an agency owner knows how to do this stuff. So this helps anybody that needs that help. And then you got even expected results. Month 1, conservative, generate 30 to 50 leads, book 6 to 10 consultations, close 2 to 3 clients, revenue 2 to 9,000, ROI, so month 3, generate 100 to 150 leads. This is after you've optimized your process, and now you scale. 6 months you're scaling. And these are big numbers. These are what agencies do. They'll figure out a product, they'll generate a process, they'll optimize it, and then they'll scale it. So if you want to do this as a service, it's laying out the game plan totally for you right here. And stuff just goes on and on and on. There's a lot of support. For Optimizer. More support than I've ever offered on anything I've ever put together before. So this is some cool stuff. So I'm going to go back to our stuff. And then here's all the files. All the files I just went through in the summary with you, they're all right here. Even the folder with the AI widget. That's the widget you put on the site. These are the landing pages. Like if you double click on these, it'll load. There's the landing page that I literally put into Kartra and built for you in a template. And there's 4 of them. That's number 1. There's number 2. They even color coded them so you could tell them apart easily. But it's the same landing page. It's just different messaging. So, and then there's images. There's images that generated to go with each landing page. So all the files are there. It's just there was some confusion about what to do with them. And you just literally follow the steps. Like executive summary, it says start here. I put a little tilde sign in front of it so it would go alphanumeric number 1, no matter what your filing system is. So that's on top. If you just start there, it'll walk you through the whole thing. So hopefully this is helpful and not just confusing. And again, it's AI, so it's not copy and paste. It's giving you a starter package. You need to go through and edit those files, make sure it's in alignment with your business, make sure you're not offering something you're not offering, and make the best of it. So let me see. I know it looks like Senda just came back in. I was going to actually answer a question for you that I had gotten before, and then you left. So now that you're back, hopefully you're listening. But anyway, your question about your business being a local business, and I know you're doing NLP therapy. If you do this online, like let's say on your website, you can offer these services nationwide. There's not a problem with that. You can create a marketing funnel because you're already doing the service on Zoom, as to my recollection. So yeah, so if you're doing them on Zoom, there's no problem doing this whether they're in your backyard or they're on the other side of the world. And there's no difference really fundamentally in the people. They're going to be the same people in your backyard as on the other side of the country. So it's all just really about, in that point, it's the T in ACT, it's the traffic. Once you create it, because I know you know how to sell to these people. I know you understand their problems, their frustrations, and what they want out of it. So creating a marketing funnel, an automated marketing funnel to take them through the grabbing their attention, creating the demand and desire, eliminating objections, and making an offer should be not the problem. The problem then comes into your scaling of where you're going to put that messaging. And if you just adjust your traffic strategy to put that message in front of people nationwide, it would be very easy for you to scale up and get national customers. I don't see a problem at all with that. There's
John, I think you're talking to Cinda and I.
Yes, absolutely.
And thank you for that.
It was your napkin you gave me that I took
Yes.
home, and I did read it.
Yeah, yeah. I know you did. I really appreciate that. I wanted to let you know we didn't drop out intentionally. There's something was going on, and we kept getting a internet connection unstable message
Oh, no worries.
for over the first more than the first hour of this meeting, and it got so unstable that it started rebooting the Zoom session,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and the audio was so garbled that my hair was starting to stand on, and at least what was left of it. So I dropped out and started troubleshooting.
Okay. No, no problem.
And I'm not sure what I fixed. I rebooted. I took the key fob from our new car and took it out of the room because it operates on some radio length. I didn't know if it was interfering with my Wi-Fi. Anyway, somehow or other, problem seems to have gone away now.
Oh, perfect. Well, I wanted to address that, and I was like, damn, they were off already. Shoot. And then I saw you pop back in, so I was
Yeah, it was just in time.
okay,
So I
perfect.
appreciate that. And the yeah, the heart of the challenge it relates to, and I'm sorry I missed the whole Optimancers piece, but I assume that it'll be on the recording.
Yes. Yep.
Um, the heart of the problem is that separate from the funnel, um, the number one way that people find Cinda is just looking up her name on Google.
Okay.
And so, or actually, either search on hypnotherapy, which the Google search engine forcefully defaults to near me.
Yes.
And I cannot figure out a way to get Google to understand that near me is everywhere. Am I making sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It does have a tendency to do that, where it will favor local brands. But in Google, Google is keyword specific. So it's
Yes,
only going to do that if the person doesn't put in uh, something that's contrary. Like if they just put in hypnotherapy, it's going to assume they want it locally.
which is the classic keyword for our business.
But if
Unless
they
unless
if they
they unless they've heard of Cinda
Yeah.
Then then that, I mean, if they search on Cinder Rothman, bam.
Yeah, sure.
Um, anyway,
But there's a lot of other keywords. People are generally much more specific when they get into a buying part of their journey, and
ah,
they'll get much more specific on the keywords. So like for instance, if somebody put in hypnotherapy, they're probably not ready to buy the service yet. They're kicking
yep,
the tires.
yep,
They're just kind of, let's see what's out here. But then what they'll realize is, oh, well, I don't really want to go into an office. I want to do this on Zoom. So their search term will now all of a sudden go from hypnotherapist
That
to
still is different.
online hypnotherapist.
right.
And at that point, that opens it up. That's no longer a near me term. So it tells the search engine that
Got
I'm
it, got it,
looking
got it.
for it in
Yeah.
their backyard.
Okay, well, that's actually positive then because of the two or three hundred blog articles that we've already written over 20 years, they're all tagged with hypnotherapy online
Perfect.
as one of the tags. Also, hypnotherapy or virtual hypnotherapy,
Mm-hmm.
online hypnosis.
Yeah.
That set is kind of baked into much of our content.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
So that'll kind of help, guardrail you to keep you out of the near me place.
Okay. And then
The near me junkyard.
on the Optimancer, is it still correct that although it's hard work, I could use the report piece to tell me the hard manual work I need to do to increase the number of crosslinks?
Yes.
Uh,
So in Optimancer, there's two different products that I've recently talked about. One of them was called a product called Enderlinker.
uh-huh.
And I think that might be what you're referring to. That's the one where it interlinks all the pages inside your site based on keywords and what information is on other pages.
Oh yeah, that's
Optimancer,
the one that your
yeah,
friend just
yeah, Chris Cantel released
introduced.
that one.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what that one does. That's not really a function of Optimancer.
Ah,
So Optimancer, what it does is it generates the three different pieces that optimize you for AI.
okay.
So if you want to get into AI search and become visible in the AI engines,
Yep.
Optimancer is the answer for that one. It'll create the LLM file, it will create the FAQ content, and it will create the schema codes for each page. And if you have a WordPress site, it automatically installs them. If you don't, it just gives them to you and you copy and paste them into your website.
Okay. So we're not WordPress,
Yeah,
which
so
is
then you
one
could
of our limitations. So that's the manual work I
yeah, yeah, you could copy and
was
paste that
thinking
stuff
about.
in.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Hello to all the familiar faces out there, Shanta and Janie and Teresa and golly. Uh,
Yeah, we have
lots of lot.
a lot of Craig's group in here now.
Yeah. Oh, I see Gina and
Yeah,
Greg.
Gina, Randy, Jerry.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, cool stuff. All right, Daryl, you had your hand up for quite a while, and then we'll hit
Well,
Ahmed.
thank you. First of all, John, before I get to the reason I raised my hand, I want to give you a sincere thank you. I am amazed with how patient you are. You never seem rushed, no matter what the subject, no matter how long the meeting has gone on. You're always there with a good-looking face and ready to answer the question. So thank you very much.
I'm happy to do it as long as I have the answer for you.
Yeah, there you go. One little side note, and I'm going to make it very short on that. My computer files got corrupted. I used ChatGPT to walk me through it, and we spent hours because it always said, "Oh, just two more things to do," and then find something else. But what kind of surprised me was I apparently started sounding a little irritated, and they asked me if I would like it to use a gentler voice.
Yeah.
Wow, no, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really it's really incredible what they're baking into this thing. It's really they're trying to get it to be, more human-like.
Right. And starting to lie even like a human, like you pointed out.
I mean, that's part of adoption. If people feel that it's like them, they're much more apt to use it. Versus a machine, they're afraid of the machine, but if it doesn't act or look or feel like a machine, it's not a machine. So that's part of adoption. And this thing's getting adopted like crazy.
Two short questions. You on your page there, you showed Optimancer white label. Is white label and agency one and the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but why double check?
Yep.
And at one point, Richard interjected something that sounded like you might have to be on a paid version of Kartra to use these tools.
Yes. Well, Kartra is paid no matter what. If you don't have a paid
I'm on a free version.
They don't have a free version unless it's just a trial.
Well,
so
whatever I'm on.
Actually, they do have a free version. I take that back. There is a free version for you to do the affiliate stuff.
Right. That's what I have currently.
It's very limited. If you have a paid version, then you can run campaigns in there, and that's where I have the templates that you can just install the Kartra template. Okay. What I wasn't aware of, which Richard found, was there's multiple layers of the Kartra service. On the base level, the lowest price Kartra account, they apparently don't give you the ability to edit your HTML components. And the HTML component is how I dropped the Optimancer widget onto the page. So you have to be at least at the mid-tier service package to be able to edit that.
Okay.
It's easy to get a workaround around that. If you want to use the Kartra template on the lower level, all you have to do is you just have to create a landing page with WordPress or whatever site you're using, and put the widget on that page, get the URL from that page that the widget is on, and you put that into your Kartra opt-in box as the thank you success page. Okay. So then you're using the Kartra page to opt in. Once they opt in, they're being forwarded to that success page. It's just not the Kartra page because you couldn't edit the HTML in the Kartra page.
Okay.
So simple workaround, very easy to get around that.
So, and with that workaround, you're on the first paid level instead of the second paid level?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So
I appreciate the clarification.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Not a problem. All right, Amid, we'll hit you, and then we'll wrap her up for today.
Wonderful. Thank you.
We'll save the best for last, right?
Thank you for saying that. I find you to be really brilliant, honestly, and your capabilities are amazing. And I don't think I am up to that level. Let me be blunt.
I'm the ultimate AI.
You are indeed. As a matter of fact, you're a wealth of knowledge. It's amazing. And I'm not calling here to butter you up, but have you done anything with the quantum AI, similar white label product kind of packaging with the templates and things of that nature at all?
Yes.
You
Yes.
have.
I've got all of that for the white label. I've made it really simple because I was doing like the first couple of rounds of people that got into the white label, I was actually doing it for them. Like the
Okay.
first four that we did on the boat, we went over to Catalina for 3 days,
Right, right.
and my promise was, before I bring you back to the dock, you're going to have a fully functioning business,
Okay.
fully functioning AI business. So I figured for me to pull this off, I better get my shit together. So I documented it out. I made a process and I did 3 of them following it myself. And then just to make sure, I sat Brady down at my computer with no instruction. I said, I just want you to open this file and I want you to follow the steps. And he did the fourth one without any questions.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I got this. I got it. Somebody can literally sit in my chair, follow the instructions, and implement this and do it. So it was cool. The 4 people literally were up and running before they even stepped foot on the boat. They didn't realize I was going to do that. So
Okay.
we had 3 days at sea really to work on their business, not like trying to build it and scramble. They were done. So it was funny.
That
The pressure was off me. My fulfillment is committed. I can bring them back anytime and they're up and running.
that being said, it's amazing actually, and I'm discovering that I am literally behind the 8 ball. It's like almost, you know how they say you're a dollar late, a day late, a dollar short, cons.
Yeah.
And in this case, like I haven't started on the optimal answer because I'm just starting on the AI,
Yeah.
quantum AI,
Well,
and I'm
don't.
discovering that I'm behind schedule on some things. So I'm gonna make it official. Upgrade me to the white label, please, so I can get all those because I am not a template generator and
Okay.
Kartra.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And if anyone here is really good at Kartra and wants to work with me, I'll be more than happy to see if I could develop a relationship. So
Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. So I'm going to show you inside of the Quantum Suite, the way that you get white label inside here is you simply just you click on the white label tab. If you don't have it, you're going to get this message. It'll just say locked, unlock access. You click on that, and basically it's 97 a month, and you click on that, and you're good to go. It might ask you for your credit card, for
right.
this account, and you're good to go.
Is this above the other one, or is that
Yes.
and
Yeah, the white.
replacing the 47, whatever it was?
Yeah, the 47 is basically for the tool set here, and that also covers your ACT membership and the calls, the weekly calls and mentorship and all that. And then the
Okay.
97 is basically that's for the
The
SaaS
app.
software platform. And it's really cool. I mean, you don't have to use any of my tools. In your white label, you can pick and choose what you want, and then you can also rename them. Every one of my tools, if you wanted to, you could rebrand it to your own brand. And then the other thing that you get when you do the white label, that opens this tab to the God mode. And God mode allows you to create your own tools. So you could literally create any tools that you wanted to for your industry and make a whole suite of tools, just like what I've done here for marketing.
Good. Actually, speaking of that, you said you were able to do a virtual or Zoom training of some sort on one day to create some things. I'm
Yeah,
in, and I love to do that sooner than later. Is that a possibility? I know
yeah,
you mentioned it at some point.
yeah.
You're starting,
I'm actually going to do that tomorrow at noon. So you're welcome to sit in on it and check that out. And
yeah, okay. Because I'm definitely I'm fed up with the whole process, and I'm overwhelmed is a better way to say it. Really, not fed up, but
yeah,
because I'm listening, I'm reading, I'm doing this, and I'm doing that,
Yeah,
and this is not my cup of tea or my genre. I'm more of the business coaching, real estate mindset,
yeah, yeah.
those kind of things. So
And don't think that you have to, like, I don't want you to feel like you're behind. You're not behind. You're just where you are. And you don't have to keep
good
up.
point.
You don't have to keep up with me because
This is your cup
for
of tea.
for as for as slow moving as my body is, I move pretty fast. In this world, I move pretty quickly. It's hard to keep up. And you don't necessarily need to, because keep in mind, I serve a lot of different arenas. Like I serve the SEO arena at a level that, no one else serves them. And that's probably not of your interest. So like Optimancer and other stuff that has to do with that, you don't need to be up to speed on that. What you need to do is you need to look at what you want to do and create a strategy for you, and then attach what you need to do that to implement.
And this is where I'm challenged because I have some people who are interested in the quantum AI
Mm,
already. I have
okay.
about half a dozen.
Okay.
And the question is, would I be able to sell it to them, which I know because of the white label I can.
Yes. If you want to sell it under
Uh,
your own brand, yeah, that's where you would do the white label.
right. And the thing is, I feel like I'm still challenged in that area to get that product out there and give them something because I haven't put
Uh,
anything together yet. And that's where
Well, I think after you see what we do tomorrow, I think you'll see under the hood of what's involved, and it's not really that big a thing. Like once you get the funnel, I think you already have Kartra. So
yes, I do.
once you get the funnel, put in place in Kartra, um, there's not really much to it. You have a fully functioning business. You just send people to the landing page, they buy the product gets fulfilled, and you might do a couple of Q&A calls on it,
Okay.
or you could do private coaching. You
Okay.
could actually sell private coaching sessions for people that are going to be using it, and so they can get the most out of it. That would be a good upsell, a good business model.
Thank you. And actually, that's what I was leaning towards. And the Optima, I mean, the Optima answer as well. I have also a couple of people who are interested in that as well. And I'm thinking maybe just forward them to you as an affiliate.
Yeah.
And I run my own website through the landing page you provided.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there was a lot that need to be worked on. So, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and of course, I'm not a WordPress person or anything else. As a matter of fact, I thought maybe I'll sit down and just learn what WordPress is because I've seen it for the last, I don't know, 12, 15 years, and I've never got into it
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
So,
It's pretty easy to work with. But
okay.
all right, so I will see some of you guys tomorrow at noon, and
Is the link the same or?
I'm going to send out an email for you.
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
send out a special link for you, and I'll hop in there tomorrow at noon, and we'll play around with the white label. So,
Thank you.
all right, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Have a great weekend.
You too.